everybody, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So I'm going to do my weekly planner decoration today. So I'm just going to grab the week I'm at. So, oops, I'm stuck last week's. I'm just going to open it up. That's where they get stiffer. Much better than them getting loose. So this week I'm going to base my entire week's decoration on this thing I have on Monday night, which is the kikki.k Christmas workshop. I am so very excited for it. So I'm going to do this entire week with things from the Christmas Paper Lovers book and the Christmas Tags sticker book. So I'm going to grab the Christmas Paper Lovers book. I have done a review on this one, so if you are interested in seeing what else is in here, please, I'm going to link it below, so please check it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the page I want. Flick, 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 flick. I'll get there eventually. Where is it? Okay, so it's this one here. So it's just note paper. I'm not so good with the note paper. I don't tend to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these trees on the top. So I'm just going to pull that out really, really carefully. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to roughly, to a certain extent, but measure that out, and just one big cut. Now this blade is really blunt, so I'm going to run a pair of scissors just along that cut, just to try and get rid of some of those frayed edges. I need to get a new blade for my paper trimmer. If anyone knows where to get blades for that particular paper trimmer, it's a Carl paper trimmer. I can never find them, so kind of biding my time before I have to buy a new one. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the same sort of thing down this side. This is the perforated edge side. So I'm going to run this down. I'm going to run it down the bottom or up the top. I'm going to run it down the bottom because I actually want to be able to use the trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure where those trees kind of sit. So I'm going to lose one tree. So I want to get as many of them as I can. So I'm going to cut right here as close to that tree as I can, so that I've got as much left there as I can. Then I'm going to come along the top. I'm actually going to do, just thinking if I want to cut them all out and then I can just sort of stick them. Yes, I'm going to do that. No, I'm not. I'm just going to kind of go around the side. I'm so indecisive today. So I'm not going to cut them out individually. I'm going to leave them as a group, but I'm just going to kind of run around them a little bit. Cut that out like that, and I like that so much better. I think that looks much nicer. So it actually allows me to use some of these lines if I wanted to. Not that I will, but I can. Now I'm obviously not going to throw this piece away because I can still use that in another project somewhere else along the way. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my glue tape. So I'm going to use this, make sure I don't get any glue on my desk. So run that just along the bottom, but then just along these bits here. I'm not going to run it along the edges. I'm just going to run it up the middle. Got my hands right in the sticky bit at the moment, but that's so I can do that. So you just got to be really careful with this glue tape. It's slightly different to the one I used to use, and it's a lot stickier. So I'm just don't want to rip my trees, considering I've gone to so much effort with them. So I'm placing these in the middle. Go, and I've just pushed them down there. that's the start of it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, this is out of the stickers, gift tags, sealers and Christmas cheer book. I've also done a review on this one, so please check it out. I'll put a link to it below. So the next, where am I going to put this? This is an absolutely awesome little sticker. I love that it's white and I love that it's gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, let me get this one out. It just says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, so kind of playing on the fact that this is November. I'm aware that it's a very, very early start, and I'm just going to put it right here. So I'm going to line it up with that line and right on the edge. Just put it there. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab my eraser. I'm just going to rub out these two little bits on this side. I'm going to grab a red and a green. So very boring, but so very Christmas. I'm just going to grab another sticker out of here. I'm going to get, I'm just looking for an elf that kind of fits what I'm thinking here. I can get this little one here. So he's just a little elf that's giving a present. So I'm just going to grab him and I'm going to put him right here. And this is going to signify when that workshop is. So I'm just going to write it in. So really simple, just in there like that. I'm also just going to, while I'm here, just going to grab these two. I just had a little note here before that I rubbed out, saying that there might have been a dive on this day, so I'm just going to signify that with my little sunshine. Just going to rub these out as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is kind of taking a note from this gold. I'm going to use this gold glitter tape that I got from kikki.k. This is the first time I'm using this one. I've used the copper one before and I've used it in a video and I love it. But we're about to see if they answered my prayers and made it a little bit easier to use, because the old stuff was a bit hard. So what I'm going to do here, it's different already. Not sure if I like that. So what I'm going to do is basically just get enough. I don't ever want to waste this stuff. It's a little bit more expensive than normal washi tape, but it's so good. I'm just going to get this to there. I'm just going to cut where I think that is. I just want to grab this end because I'm going to reuse that end of it basically. So just to store this, because the glitter is a little bit temperamental, so I just wrap that back up. Try and sort of hold it for a second, and then use the tape that's there, and that'll hold it in place. So that way it doesn't, you don't lose all the glitter all over the place. So this is really thick. I don't need it to be that thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it straight down the middle. Again, this doesn't need to be perfect, as most things in my video it never will be. So I kind of like the imperfection. Just running that down the middle, or as close to the middle as I can. So you see already one side's slightly thicker than the other. Who cares? So it wasn't too bad. Not the simplest one I've ever used, but not the non-simplest. And I kind of picked off some of the glitter there and I didn't mean to. So I'm trying to find the straight edge, because I want to put the straight edge on the bottom. So I'm putting, using the slightly thicker one on this side, just running it along the bottom, just onto my desk, that doesn't matter. And then just cutting off the excess on the sides. Oops, cut my paper. going to hold on to those because I might still use them. And then just going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm just going to hang this upside down so it's a bit easier. So if I can suggest what you need to do, you kind of need to get your fingernail in under here. If you don't have long nails, grab yourself a pin or something along those lines just to make it a little bit easier for yourself. So again, just grabbing the straight side, just placing that on top. There we go. So the thing I'm just sort of noticing is that the side on the left has got a nice balance of colour. The side on the right not quite so much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump into the Paper Lovers book without making too much of a mess. I'm just going to have a look at the stickers that came in the first half of the book, so the non-black and white side. This is the fun part, trying to decide what you want to do. I don't want to use too many of these little elves because I'm going to use them in other places. I'm going to grab this tag. It's the first one I'm going to grab. I find them a bit easier to get out with scissors, so I just cut it just a little bit to release it, and it kind of moves a bit better. I'm just going to grab that tag, and then I'm just running the scissors down the side, get rid of some of those little knobs. I'm going to make that one stick sort of just there-ish. No, I'm not. Make it sit there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these sealers on top. So using a bit of gold but also using a bit of green. That'll introduce another colour into this side. It's going to sit there, that's going to hold that in place, so now I don't have to worry about getting the other one. So I'm just flipping this over, as in, sorry, I don't need to worry about sticking it solid. So all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue on the back here just to hold it in place. You don't want it rolling around too much on the top. Just grabbing my hole punch. Go. So it's not quite in the spot that would be, but that's pretty close, so I'm quite happy with that. Then all I'm going to do, I am going to use another one of these little elves. I'm going to grab this one, he's doing a handstand. I think that's cute. I'm going to put him down in this corner. So then I'm just going to grab, this is just a sticker that I've made just for netball, because I play netball on a Sunday, so I'm just putting that there. I'm just going to grab, again, using red just to sort of stick to this. Actually, I'm going to use green just to sort of stick to this theme. So I'm just going to write netball there, just so, and then I can add the time in afterwards. Now, the other thing I just need to do is I just need to put another time in here. I'm going to stick with red and green just because I think I should. So because I've used a bit of space here, I'm kind of going to just go on the side. There we go. So that's pretty much it. I'm kind of umming and ahhing. I feel like this is just a little bit empty at the top here, and I'm just not quite sure what I want to put there. If I want to put anything there. Just gonna grab just one of these candy canes. No, I'm not, because it's kind of, this is a kind of different sort of package. Maybe a tree. I'm gonna grab this tree. So kind of bringing in that green and coming from up there. So I'm just going to go over the top of the 2015. There we go. That's better. Kind of finishes it off. So there we go. That is the next week. So the first week of November in my planner. I am doing these weekly now. So keep an eye out next Monday for next week's design or layout, however I'm going to do it. I also do post videos on Friday, and they do vary between what I happen to be doing, if I bought something, so they're a bit eclectic. Please subscribe if you have any questions or comments about any of my layouts or anything that I do. Again, please leave a comment. I do love to hear from people. It's nice to know that people are watching, so definitely leave a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys again really, really soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.